What's up, cheeseheads? Welcome back, and as always, thank you for joining me. My name's Paul Brettel. I'm the site editor over at Dairyland Express, where we cover the Packers, Brewers, Bucks, and Badgers. I also have a new article out every Monday and Friday over at Cheesehead TV. And as it says at the bottom of the screen here, you can follow me on Twitter at Paul_Brettel. So for today's video, we're going to put a bow on this Green Bay Packers Cleveland Browns matchup before we start looking ahead to the upcoming game against the Minnesota Vikings. So as we've done the last few weeks, I am going to go through my three big things from this Green Bay Packers performance. You can find the article version of this over at Dairyland Express. So let's get started. First up, thank goodness for all four turnovers. Now, it goes without saying, if you win the turnover battle, your odds of winning the game increase greatly. In fact, the Green Bay Packers are 30-0 under Matt LaFleur when they win the turnover battle. But I believe that they truly needed all four of these to come away with the win. Had they just gotten three, and just is, not the right word because three is still a lot, but had they just gotten three turnovers, I don't believe that they win this game. So the first three turnovers that they forced led to 21 points for this offense. On the other six possessions that the Green Bay Packers offense had that didn't start via a turnover, five of them resulted in punts, and one of them ended in a field goal. So without those turnovers, the offense, they weren't really moving the ball that well or putting themselves in positions to score either. And then, of course, the final one of the game, Rasul Douglas interception. Cleveland was moving the ball. They were at midfield. They were nearing field goal range, and all they needed was a field goal to win the game. Now, of course, if the interception doesn't happen, who knows how the rest of the game plays out. I think it would have been fourth down after that. But still, that turnover sealed the game for them. The Green Bay Packers really needed all four of those opportunities just to be able to put this Cleveland Browns team away. So thank goodness for all four of them. Next up, let's talk about Rasul Douglas. What an addition he has been. Aaron Rodgers called him a game changer. He called him a star. And that's not hyperbole either. He absolutely has been. So this season, these stats are from Pro Football Focus, and he's only been playing since week 6. So first off, he leads the team in interceptions with just 5 of them, or with 5 of them, excuse me. And 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. He's been targeted 53 times, allowed a completion rate of just 52.8%, and he's only allowed 10.3 yards per catch. And he also has 5 pass breakups in addition to those interceptions. He's been really, really good, as we all know. But the impressive part about all of this, or there's a number of impressive things, but it's not just the fact that he has 5 interceptions. It's not just the fact that he's done that since week 6. Not just the fact that he leads the team in that category, despite not joining until October, or his whole background of this being his 5th team this year, practice squad. There's a lot of impressive things about Rasul Douglas. But it's when those interceptions have happened, several of them have come in very key moments within a game. As Aaron Rodgers said, game changer. Those are game-changing plays that he's made. Let's look at 3 of them. The interception in the end zone against the Arizona Cardinals. That was second down that put the game away for Green Bay. They ended up winning. Then against the Los Angeles Rams, Douglas had a pick 6. Green Bay only won that game by 8 points. And then this past week, again, as I just previously mentioned, he came up with a huge interception around midfield as the Browns are about to score. Now, there's some speculation on my part here that interception in Arizona, that was second down. We don't know. Would Green Bay have held them? Would they have forced a turnover? Would it went to overtime? Would Green Bay have won there? Would they have lost there? Again, the same thing with the Rams game. If that interception doesn't happen, how does the rest of the game play out? And then Cleveland, Douglas's interception there. It would have been fourth down coming up. Do they get the stops to win the game? So there's a lot of speculation, but I think it's safe to say that odds are if Rasul Douglas was not a Green Bay Packer, Green Bay Packers are not winning all 3 of those games. And I think there's a realistic world out there where Green Bay could have lost all 3 of those games if they did not have Douglas and if he wasn't making those key interceptions. So now we have a 12-3 Green Bay Packers team. They're at the top of the NFC. They control their own destiny. With some help, they actually have the opportunity to clinch the 1 seed this week. But there's a world out there as well without Douglas. Those plays don't happen where maybe Green Bay's 9-6, or maybe they're 10-5. And the outlook on the season looks a lot different than what it does right now. So Rasul Douglas, as Aaron Rodgers said, talk about an all-time midseason pickup. Rasul Douglas has changed our defense and changed our team. He really, really has. Lastly, last big thing, the defense. They are trending downward. So after that ugly performance week 1 against the Saints, Green Bay went on a 9-game stretch where they allowed more than 22 points just once, and in 6 of those games they didn't allow more than 17 points. They still rank very well overall in terms of points per game allowed, total yards, and their best stretch of football came against 3 of the game's most talented quarterbacks: Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson. Those 3 teams combined to score 34 points, and that includes a shutout to Seattle. Those 3 quarterbacks had a completion rate of just 56%. They combined for only 601 passing yards, so a little over 200 yards per game, and they threw 4 interceptions to just 1 touchdown. It was when this defense was absolutely playing at their best. But since then, they've been trending in the wrong direction, starting with the Minnesota game and up through the Cleveland game. They've allowed 28.8 points per game during that stretch. Now, like I said, they still rank very well in terms of yards per game, points per game given up, but even when they were at their best, the advanced metrics, the like Football Outsiders DVOA metric, they were never really that high on this defense. They currently have them ranked 25th in rush defense, 19th against the pass, and 22nd overall. So when we're looking at how this defense is performing, are they closer to being 10th, like they are in points per game allowed, or are they more closer to 22nd with the advanced metrics and analytics? Definitely the latter in what we've seen as of late. So, and the same goes with the run defense as well. They got bullied. They got run all over by the Cleveland offense. And Cleveland uses a ton of 2 and 3 tight end sets. So that coupled with just a good offensive line. And then, I mean, go pick out a running back category. There's a very good chance that Nick Chubb is either at the top or very close to it. So all of that culminated in this Green Bay Packers run defense getting pushed around and run over. But again, they haven't, their numbers haven't been that impressive this season. They entered the Cleveland game giving up 4.5 yards per rush, which ranked 25th. So again, there's numbers out there that suggest that they're playing and have played very well, which they have at times. I'm not saying that. But when we dig a little deeper, like I said, into those advanced metrics, I think it shows a more truer picture of who this defensive unit is. So they've still been very good, even during this stretch. They've been very good at generating turnovers. We just talked about that. And they've been very, very good at getting after the quarterback. Those are 2 things that I think at this point in the season, we can rely on this defense to do. But there's been more soft coverages. We saw some really, really poor tackling, and this has been a very good tackling team this season. We saw some really, really poor tackling against the Cleveland Browns. And then again, the run defense, they're getting pushed around in that regard. So it needs to get cleaned up. What specifically? I mean, we'll have to see. They're going to have a tough test here against the Vikings this coming week. Again, the team that started this whole kind of downward trend. Because Joe Barry, what he does, and we've talked about it before, his MO is to take away the pass. And if you want to run the ball, go ahead and run the ball. But that decision becomes a little more difficult this week when you have to go up against Dalvin Cook, who has the ability to do what Nick Chubb did this past week. So we'll discuss that more, but that's something to keep our eyes on. What does this Joe Barry defense try to take away? Dalvin Cook or Justin Jefferson? Because you can't do both. So there you have it. Those are my 3 big things from the Green Bay Packers win over Cleveland. And at the end of the day, it was a win, and that's truly all that matters. But you can find the article version over at Dairyland Express. You can find all my work there, as well as at Cheesehead TV. Follow me on Twitter at Paul_Brettel. And please, if you enjoy these videos, hit subscribe, hit like. I do greatly appreciate it. So until next time, friends, take care, stay safe, and as always, go Pack Go.